Smoke detectors are indeed still required in bedrooms of apartments, even if the building is equipped with a fire sprinkler system. This requirement stems from the fundamental principle that early detection of a fire is crucial for saving lives and minimizing property damage. Fire sprinklers are designed to suppress a fire once it has reached a certain size and heat intensity. However, they may not activate quickly enough to alert occupants to smoldering fire or a fire that is developing slowly. Smoke detectors, on the other hand, are designed to detect the presence of smoke, which is often the first indication of a fire. Smoke detectors provide an early warning, giving occupants valuable time to evacuate the building safely. There are several reasons why smoke detectors are still necessary in Sprinklered apartments. Firstly, smoke detectors can detect fires that are not large enough to activate the sprinkler system. Smoldering fires, such as those caused by a cigarette or faulty wiring, may produce smoke for an extended period before generating enough heat to trigger the sprinklers. In these situations, a smoke detector can provide the necessary early warning to prevent the fire from escalating. Secondly, smoke detectors can alert occupants who may be asleep or otherwise unaware of a fire. Sprinkler systems are designed to suppress fires, but they may not be effective if occupants are not alerted to the danger in time. A smoke detector's alarm can wake sleeping occupants and give them the opportunity to escape. Thirdly, smoke detectors can provide an additional layer of protection in case the sprinkler system fails. While sprinkler systems are generally reliable, they can malfunction due to various reasons, such as a lack of maintenance or a mechanical failure. In such cases, smoke detectors can serve as a backup system to alert occupants to a fire. Fourthly, building codes and fire safety regulations typically mandate the installation of smoke detectors in all bedrooms, regardless of whether the building has a sprinkler system. These regulations are designed to ensure a minimum level of fire safety for all occupants. It's important to understand the different types of smoke detectors available. The two main types are ionization smoke detectors and photoelectric smoke detectors. Ionization smoke detectors are generally more sensitive to flaming fires, while photoelectric smoke detectors are more sensitive to smoldering fires. Many experts recommend using both types of smoke detectors in a home or apartment to provide comprehensive protection. Smoke detectors should be installed in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions and local building codes. Typically, smoke detectors should be placed on the ceiling or high on a wall, away from corners and air vents. They should also be located near bedrooms and other sleeping areas. Regular maintenance of smoke detectors is essential to ensure their proper functioning. Smoke detectors should be tested monthly by pressing the test button. Batteries should be replaced at least once a year, or more frequently if the detector emits a low battery warning. It's also important to keep smoke detectors clean and free of dust and debris. Smoke detectors play a vital role in fire safety, even in buildings equipped with sprinkler systems. They provide an early warning of fire, giving occupants valuable time to escape and potentially saving lives. By understanding the importance of smoke detectors and following proper installation and maintenance procedures, individuals can significantly reduce their risk of fire-related injuries or fatalities. In addition to the presence of smoke detectors, other fire safety measures should be implemented in apartments and other residential buildings. These measures may include fire extinguishers, escape plans, and regular fire drills. Residents should familiarize themselves with these measures and practice them regularly. Fire extinguishers can be used to put out small fires, but they should only be used by individuals who have been properly trained. Escape plans should be developed and practiced regularly to ensure that everyone knows what to do in case of a fire. Fire drills can help residents become familiar with the escape routes and procedures. Landlords and building managers have a responsibility to ensure that their buildings are fire safe. This includes installing and maintaining smoke detectors, sprinkler systems, and fire extinguishers. They should also conduct regular fire inspections and address any fire hazards that are identified. Tenants also have a role to play in fire safety. They should report any fire hazards to their landlord or building manager and follow all fire safety rules and regulations. They should also be aware of the location of fire exits and fire extinguishers. Ultimately, fire safety is a shared responsibility. By working together, landlords, tenants, and building managers can create a safer environment for everyone. Smoke detectors are a critical component of fire safety, and they should be installed and maintained in all apartments, regardless of whether the building has a sprinkler system. They provide an essential early warning of fire, which can save lives and prevent property damage. Fire safety isn't just about reacting to a fire, it's about proactive measures. Firstly, ensure that all electrical wiring is up to code and in good condition. Faulty wiring is a leading cause of residential fires. Secondly, avoid overloading electrical outlets and extension cords. This can cause overheating and potentially spark a fire. Thirdly, never leave cooking unattended. Cooking is another common cause of residential fires. Fourthly, keep flammable materials away from heat sources. This includes things like paper, cloth, and cleaning supplies. Fifthly, regularly inspect and clean chimneys and vents. This will prevent the buildup of creosote, which is a flammable substance. Sixthly, have your heating system serviced annually by a qualified technician. This will ensure that it is operating safely and efficiently. Seventhly, consider installing a home fire suppression system. These systems are designed to automatically extinguish fires before they can spread. Eighthly, educate yourself and your family about fire safety. This includes learning about the different types of fires, how to use a fire extinguisher, and how to evacuate your home safely. Ninthly, develop a fire escape plan and practice it regularly. This will ensure that everyone knows what to do in case of a fire. Tenthly, install smoke detectors on every level of your home and in every bedroom. Test them monthly and replace the batteries at least once a year. Furthermore, familiarize yourself with your building's fire safety procedures. In apartments, this may involve knowing the location of fire exits, fire alarms, and fire extinguishers. It's also a good idea to know your neighbors so you can help each other in case of an emergency. Remember, fire safety is everyone's responsibility. By taking proactive measures and being prepared, you can significantly reduce your risk of fire-related injuries or fatalities. Smoke detectors, while seemingly simple devices, are a crucial line of defense. Their presence offers an early warning, and that warning can be the difference between a minor incident and a catastrophic event. Never underestimate the value of these small, life-saving devices. It's also important to understand the limitations of fire sprinklers. While they are effective at suppressing fires, they are not a substitute for smoke detectors. Fire sprinklers are designed to activate when they detect a certain level of heat, but they may not activate quickly enough to alert occupants to a smoldering fire. Additionally, fire sprinklers may not be effective in all types of fires. For example, they may not be effective in fires involving flammable liquids or gases. Finally, it's important to note that fire sprinklers are not foolproof. They can malfunction due to various reasons, such as a lack of maintenance or a mechanical failure. Therefore, it's essential to have smoke detectors as a backup system. In summary, smoke detectors are still required in bedrooms of apartments that are fire sprinklered for several reasons. Firstly, they can detect fires that are not large enough to activate the sprinkler system. Secondly, they can alert occupants who may be asleep or otherwise unaware of a fire. Thirdly, it can provide an additional layer of protection in case the sprinkler system fails. Fourthly, building codes and fire safety regulations typically mandate the installation of smoke detectors in all bedrooms. By understanding the importance of smoke detectors and following proper installation and maintenance procedures, individuals can significantly reduce the risk of fire-related injuries or fatalities. Remember, fire safety is a shared responsibility, and everyone has a role to play in preventing fires and ensuring the safety of themselves and others. Fire safety is not just a matter of following regulations, it's a matter of common sense and personal responsibility. Taking simple precautions can make a big difference in preventing fires and protecting lives. Firstly, be careful with candles. Never leave them unattended and keep them away from flammable materials. Secondly, be careful when smoking. Never smoke in bed, and always dispose of cigarette butts properly. Thirdly, be careful when using space heaters. Keep them away from flammable materials and never leave them unattended. Fourthly, be careful when cooking. Never leave cooking unattended, and keep flammable materials away from the stovetop. Fifthly, be careful when using electrical appliances. Make sure they are in good condition and never overload electrical outlets. Sixthly, store flammable liquids properly. Keep them in tightly sealed containers and store them in a cool, well-ventilated area. Seventhly, have your chimney inspected and cleaned regularly. This will prevent the buildup of creosote, which is a flammable substance. Eighthly, make sure your smoke detectors are working properly. Test them monthly and replace the batteries at least once a year. Ninthly, develop a fire escape plan and practice it regularly. This will ensure that everyone knows what to do in case of a fire. Tenthly, know your local emergency number. In most areas, it's 9.11. By following these simple precautions, you can significantly reduce your risk of fire-related injuries or fatalities. Fire safety is a year-round concern, not just something to think about during Fire Prevention Week. It's important to be vigilant and take steps to prevent fires at all times. Firstly, be aware of the potential fire hazards in your home. These may include things like overloaded electrical outlets, flammable materials, and unattended cooking. Secondly, take steps to eliminate these hazards. This may involve things like repairing faulty wiring, storing flammable materials properly, and never leaving cooking unattended. Thirdly, develop a fire safety plan for your home. This should include things like escape routes, meeting places, and emergency contact information. Fourthly, practice your fire safety plan regularly. This will ensure that everyone knows what to do in case of a fire. Fifthly, teach your children about fire safety. This should include things like how to call for help, how to escape from a fire, and how to stop, drop, and roll if their clothes catch on fire. Sixthly, make sure your smoke detectors are working properly. Test them monthly and replace the batteries at least once a year. Seventhly, have your chimney inspected and cleaned regularly. This will prevent the buildup of creosote, which is a flammable substance. Eighthly, consider installing a fire extinguisher in your home. This can be used to put out small fires before they spread. Ninthly, know your local emergency number. In most areas, it's 9.11. Tenthly, be a responsible neighbor. If you see something that looks like a fire hazard, report it to the authorities. By following these simple tips, you can help prevent fires and protect your family and community. In addition to the points already mentioned, it is critical to understand the specific requirements outlined in the National Fire Protection Association 72, which covers the installation of smoke alarms. 72 provides detailed guidelines on the placement, installation, and maintenance of smoke alarms in various types of occupancies, including apartments. The standard emphasizes the importance of having smoke alarms in each sleeping room and outside of each separate sleeping area in a dwelling unit. This ensures that occupants are alerted to a fire regardless of where it originates within the apartment. Furthermore, 72 addresses the issue of interconnected smoke alarms, which are highly recommended, especially in multi-story dwellings or apartments. Interconnected smoke alarms are wired together so that when one alarm is activated, all alarms in the unit sound, providing an immediate warning to all occupants, even if they are in different parts of the dwelling. This feature is particularly crucial in larger apartments or those with multiple bedrooms, as it can significantly increase the chances of early detection and safe evacuation. Moreover, 72 outlines the requirements for smoke alarm power sources, specifying that smoke alarms must be powered by either a hardwired electrical connection with battery backup or a 10-year sealed battery. Hardwired smoke alarms offer a more reliable power source, as they are connected to the building's electrical system and have a battery backup in case of a power outage. 10-year sealed battery smoke alarms provide a convenient and maintenance-free option, eliminating the need for frequent battery replacements. The standard also addresses the issue of smoke alarm placement in relation to potential obstructions, such as ceiling fans or light fixtures. Smoke alarms should be installed at least 4 inches from the ceiling in the case of wall mounting and at least 4 inches from a sidewall in the case of ceiling mounting. This ensures that smoke can easily reach the alarm sensor and activate it promptly. Furthermore, 72 provides guidance on smoke alarm testing and maintenance, recommending that smoke alarms be tested monthly and cleaned regularly to remove dust and debris that can impair their performance. It is also important to replace smoke alarms every 10 years, as their sensors can degrade over time, reducing their sensitivity. By adhering to the guidelines outlined in 72, building owners, landlords, and tenants can ensure that smoke alarms are properly installed, maintained, and functioning effectively, providing a crucial layer of protection against fire hazards. Remember that while fire sprinkler systems are valuable fire suppression tools, they should not be considered a replacement for smoke alarms. Smoke alarms provide early warning, while fire sprinklers suppress the fire. Both systems play distinct roles in fire safety, and their combined presence significantly enhances the overall protection of occupants and property. The installation and maintenance of smoke detectors are addressed by the National Electric Code in Section 760. Here are some key aspects related to the use of 72 for smoke detectors. 72 provides specific requirements for the placement and spacing of smoke detectors to ensure effective coverage throughout a building. These requirements typically include placing detectors in each sleeping area, outside of sleeping areas, and on every level of a dwelling unit. The 72 standard outlines testing methods and maintenance procedures for smoke detectors. Regular testing, such as monthly testing, is essential to ensure that the detectors are functioning correctly. Additionally, cleaning and periodic inspection are necessary to prevent dust and debris from interfering with the detector's operation. Section 72 addresses issues like power sources, interconnection, and alarm audibility, which are critical for ensuring the reliability and effectiveness of fire alarm systems. Firstly, power sources for smoke detectors and fire alarm systems should be reliable, such as hardwired systems with battery backup. Secondly, interconnection of smoke detectors is often required to ensure that when one detector activates, all detectors throughout the building sound an alarm. Thirdly, alarm audibility must meet specific requirements to ensure that occupants can hear the alarm clearly throughout the building. It is important to note that the specific requirements for fire alarm systems can vary depending on factors such as the occupancy type, building size, and local building codes. Therefore, it is essential to consult with qualified fire protection professionals and local authorities to ensure compliance with all applicable regulations. The 72 is not merely a set of guidelines, it is a crucial resource for protecting lives and property from the dangers of fire. By understanding and implementing the requirements of the 72, building owners, managers, and occupants can significantly enhance fire safety and reduce the risk of fire-related incidents.